Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, like that bright light I'm looking at. The 144, chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. You all know who you are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth in this divine energy essence of it all. Reporting to you live from nowhere other than dimension number 5 in the glow of this sun. So I am saying to you, happy sun rising of the Christ consciousness, the Christ more consciousness from the superconscious, right? Which they call Christmas. You know, it's the Christmas, but they call Christmas. And y'all know by now, we don't do them holidays. This is something we've definitely transitioned out of. A lot of things that are falling away that third eye atlas has brought to us through the balancing of the feminine and masculine energies that has passed through Venus and Mars, that has also been re-amplified through the sun, the perihelion with the sun. So much light has been shone upon us. Did I say shone? Yes. Upon us. And so this sun rising is, now we are rising out of the 3 days of darkness. And you know, I had to catch my glow with the melanin. I'm time pushing, so I'm catching it as the sun is setting. That is our rising, actually, with the time pushing. I really got to do a video sharing with you all what the time pushing is about. Anywho, I digress. This sun rising is after the winter solstice in 3 days of darkness, which I did that video before. You can go and look at that. I'll probably attach it to here. For those who are not aware, this sun rising, this is a year where we are definitely doing something different. If you are experiencing the 9 universal year, for those who are in the Gregorian calendar, for those of us on 5D, it is our 10 year. But for the masses that are closing out the 9 universal year, and for us, we're closing out the 9th month. And with this universal year of 9, it is a spiritual completion. So what are we completing? It is time to definitely do things different. It's time to put away those fairy tale stories that they have been feeding us, the fairy tale traditions, the fairy tale narratives from the ego. And this is an ego rising in our wise ego. That's the sun rising, is that sun inside of you, in your conscious phase of mind. Your Asar is rising because Set has been put to death. Set is who is set tripping in your ego with all misappropriated egos, with all misappropriated doings from the ego's narrative that always wants to spin a story. So the question that I have for us is, what is it that you see differently? What has been put to death in you in these past 3 days? Or did you have any time to look at it around all the chaos of the holidays, holy days, and the distractions that always seem to drag us back in? Right, Bird? Ashe, Ashe. Bird is coming with the word. So this activity, this rising, if you want to step into your divine assignment, if you want to find that bridge along this with this bifurcation that is happening, and you're looking for that bifurcation bridge, if you're looking to be the bridge, to cross the bridge, which your heart is the bridge between your chakras. So heart expansion, did you find that bridge by the time of the solstice? And so with that, we're asking ourselves, what is it that I'm letting go? I can share with me. I can have my testimony. I know I woke up out of a dream, actually, that had to do with some type of rebirth, as if I was having a baby, expecting a baby, and then had the baby, wondering what happened to the feeding part, like the nursing part. And I was like, I didn't get a chance to nurse. What's happening? But the baby was taken care of. And the message that I'm getting from that is, if we are doing our due diligence and we're removing the shadows from the our south node in Virgo, we're releasing the attachment to certain details and knowing that what you are birthing, what has been birthed, is doing just fine. The baby, the new idea, the birth of the new earth in you is doing fine without the details of the way we think it should be or what we're used to, and feeling like you missed a step. It's, the energies are saying, as long as you know and you're aware of that birth, and you care about that birth, that new timeline, that true timeline in you, then it is done. Of course, there is work for us to do. Nothing is just magically done for us. There is a mystical adventure to be had. The mystic of the divine is that it matches you where you are. So what you put in is what you get out, and you don't have to worry about the details. The sun rising gives birth to that, understanding what you have put to death in those 3 days of darkness. So allowing that ego to have its humility. Humility is the way. Truth is what's going to guide us, and humility is needed along with patience, which is what is deserved. So in this sun rising, for those who are not aware of it, like, what is this sun rising? This is a day that your consciousness rises in its wisdom after the 3 days of darkness, and you have gained your gold, frankincense, and myrrh, which is your understanding, your insight, your intuition, in order to rise in your wisdom in the dome of what is wise, to rise in the magi's within you, right? And this frankincense, this gold and frankincense and myrrh also represents the, I want to make sure I say this correctly, because this was a new way, and I like to incorporate new, true, especially if they resonate as truth, in a way to look at this gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And it was to look at the threefold of our body: spirit, soul, body, the threefold of our threefold being, I should say. And that spirit, soul, body, and the gold represents the spirit, which is unchanged, or I don't want to say unchanged, but it cannot, uncompromised spirit. And the frankincense represents the soul, the new, the turning over within the soul, the cleansing of the soul. And the myrrh represents the body, which is what you're getting rid of. And for those who tend to maybe burn out their house with frankincense and myrrh, I would suggest that you do it in the order of myrrh first, burning the myrrh first, and really releasing what is no longer needed. Calling it out, speaking it out, writing it out, calling out what is no longer needed in the body. What are you seeing that is falling away and that must go? And clear out that whole area, your aura, your house, your home, your sacred space. And then go and burn it out with frankincense, following up after that. And bringing in all that is cleansing for your soul, all that your soul needs in its blessing, in its uprising, and in its truth. And then you can adorn with gold wherever you see fit, whether it's gold fabric, gold jewelry, whatever it is that is gold, that highlights the spirit, the crowning of your spirit in gold. And that is the 3 gifts for your soul to behold as your soul unfolds. Ashe. So this sun rising is when the sun now is going forward. So if you saw the video before, we spoke about the winter solstice being the moment that the ego is basically put to death. It is when the sun, when they say the sun dies, is because the consciousness, the sun that represents the ego and the will to do, is at a standstill and in its darkest night, the longest night, which is the darkest time for the sun. So it's time for less sun, more darkness to marinate in, for the seed to be put in, for receptivity, for wisdom to come through. So the practice of that over the 3 days is really going within. And a lot of times that gets eclipsed